Hey, awesome people of YouTube, welcome back to another video. This one is gonna be about POE, and it's gonna be, well, about the basics, an introduction to Path of Exile, because we have a good amount of people that are coming from Diablo 4 and people that are trying the game out because of they heard about POE 2 and stuff, and I want to give a beginner guide to getting started in the Wraeclast, because the game is pretty complex and there's a lot of stuff that might seem overwhelming. But before we get started, I just want to remind that hope you all had an awesome Christmas, and I hope you have a happy holidays. And I do stream down on Kick, link is in the description. I stream this game, at least at the very moment, so you can ask me questions there, ask me pretty much anything in there. I do have my own Discord. We can talk about different games and stuff. Also, links in the description. And we do have channel membership, so if you want to help support the channel, you can join it for only $1. And if you want to see other content, maybe another guide on Path of Exile or something else, do let me know down in the comments. But with that said, let's begin with the video. Well, Path is an action RPG. You have some character customization, not in the sense that you want, or might think, because you can't really customize how your character looks. You already have a preset, you know? But you can customize your character's playstyle, you know? You can be a character who might you think be a melee, but you can have him as a magic wielder or as a ranged. Same thing with like a magic user. You can have the magic user be a magic user, a ranged character, melee character. It's up to you. And the game is set in a dark fantasy world of Wraeclast, right? So when you begin, you know, you can see your characters. I have some of my character names. I have Toxic Meme Guardians. I'm playing Toxic Meme, which is Pathfinder, but you can select a new character. So just for this, we're gonna create a new character, and you have at this moment I have 24 character slots. Some of the old ones, some of the new ones. Right? When you start, you have standard mode, affliction, a hardcore affliction. Then in them you have solo self-found or ruthless. For a new player, I would recommend Affliction, which is at this moment is a league. And if you're watching at a different time, it might be a different league. Standard is when your league ends and your character goes there. I would not recommend hardcore because, as you know, once your character dies in there, it is done. That's it. Solo self-found I would also not recommend for new players because solo self-found means no trade league. You can't trade with anybody. Everything you find or you build must be used with the stuff that you find. So definitely recommend. Ruthless, especially just play the standard or not standard, sorry, play the league. Don't play standard, hardcore, solo self-found or ruthless, because in the league, just the basic league, you can trade with people. There's a lot more people to play. You can ask questions in the chat and all that stuff. But we're gonna select Affliction, you know, the league, and which brings you to a character class where you can pick. At first, you will not have Scion. You will have to unlock her in Act 3 towards the end. But I'm gonna talk about all the classes, and then I'm gonna talk about Scion last. So you have Templar, and it will tell you on the right, you know, there's a little bit about a back lore and why, you know, he's an exile, but he's primarily more of, he can be a support character, but he can also be magic user, you know, but you can build him however you want, right? You have Shadow, think of it like as a rogue, you know. He's a more with the builds that are agile, so you're not gonna be super tanky, but you can do quick damage and run away, right? You have Marauder. Think about it, your Berserker. He is more tanky. You can build him really tanky, right? Which might not require, might mean you not have as much DPS as other classes, but you'll be able to tank more. We have Ranger, which is what I'm currently playing. You know, range character, but you can build him however you want. She's also not gonna be super tanky, but she can do quick damage or run or do damage while kind of like running. Duelist. Also think of her like kind of a mix between a rogue and a berserker, where he can be a little bit tanky and do decent DPS. And then you have witch, which is a witch. Witch is a witch is a witch. Uh, you can build her probably with magic, you know. But I've seen her play kind of a bit supporting, not necessarily melee. Right? And Scion is kind of like a jack in the box. So you can build Scion with however you want, and Scion is not going to specialize in like one specific thing. It's going to be specializing in all of the things. Right? It's up to you what you pick. There's websites that I will talk towards the end that might help you picking a class or some other stuff, but for now we're gonna go into my build, which is what I'm using. But when you pick a class, I would recommend YouTubing league starting builds for the current league. I would not recommend doing your build because the game is overwhelming. You might not have as much fun because there's so much to learn. Right? Some of the basic gameplay mechanics, you know, movement is a little bit different on mouse and keyboard than on controller. Mouse and keyboard, you move with, well, clicking with a mouse. It's a little bit different gameplay mechanics in there, so I can't really talk about it because I don't have the access to that, which is very unfortunate. But I can talk about the controller. Once you load in, I'll be able to show you, right? But don't get overwhelmed. It might seem overwhelming, but stick with the game. Go through learning. Go through the starting league guides, league builds, because yes, it is somebody else's build, but you'll be able to slowly learn, and then eventually you can go with your own build. Or you can put a little spin on that build, you know, because it's different. Right? But let's get into the gameplay mechanics, right? You have your inventory management. Equipping items. You know, this year might seem overwhelming, but you have the NPCs which you can talk to. You know, purchase different equipment. Right? I'm a range character, but I can use staffs. If I had enough strength, I would use like a 200 axe. I can use some other ones. Right? So you can build it however you want. You can buy the stuff. You can find it. For your let me go to my hideout. You know, so I can show some of this skills. You can put a bunch of skills on your bar. You can see on the bottom right and the bottom left different things. Bottom left is my flasks. You know, I have the healing flask, some other flasks that might seem that are expensive, some are not. Mana flask, some like ruby flask, which gives me more fire resistance. My topaz, which gives me more lightning resistance, and just the fade, which is a sapphire flask, which gives me a bunch of good stuff, and then resistances. Right? But on the bottom right, you can see my skills. I have two different tactics right now. I have one where I self-cast it, just like with a B. Then I have the one where I put a totem and it does it for me. Right? Then I have Y, which is my movement. You know, you can change it however you want. I would personally recommend keeping A open because that's how you pick up items, so you don't cast stuff. You can also put stuff on your kind of like a back bar, which is if you hold right trigger, you can see my skills rotate. No, you can put. I would recommend putting aura skills, the stuff that you don't actively use. Same thing with the left trigger, you can put stuff on there. You can also do left and right trigger holding, and then you can see you can put even more stuff on the back bar, right? But you get the skills through skill gems, not like Diablo where it's in your skill tree. You get them through the skill gems, right? And you can equip skill gems. Like I have my Taxa Crane over here. No, if I take it out, you see I don't have a B button anymore. So I'm gonna put it back, right? Let's take a quick break from the, you know, the inventory and all that stuff, and let's look at the passive skill tree, which, brace for it, is a lot. But don't worry, we'll go through it together a little bit, and you can ask me, like I said, on my stream. This is the full skill tree. all the classes have the same exact skill tree, right? They just start in different locations. So a ranger, you can see, I start on the right. Scion will start right here in the middle because that's more general. Rogue will start right here. Witch will start right here on the top. This top left will be a Templar, Marauder, and then Duelist. And you can see I can go in any way I want. Like I went a little towards Scion, you know, to pick up some other stuff. I went towards Duelist to pick up others. And you can go from like a Ranger and go towards a bottom where a Duelist would be. You know? You can do that. So you can start as a Scion and go into towards the Templar starting tree, and then towards the Ranger or Witch, Duelist, whatever. You can do that, right? So that's why I would recommend finding those sleek starting builds, because it is a bit overwhelming. But once you start to figure out your build and stuff, you can see how to help. You know, like, oh, I take this skill, which is exceptional performance, for example, which increases my skill effect duration. It's like, why do I pick it up? Oh, since I'm a poison build, it allows my skill to linger for a little longer, which allows me to do a little more damage, you know? At first, you might not know that, but once you start to play the game a little more and go through those League Star builds, it will make sense. And you can always ask in chat, you know? People are helpful. Usually in there, I've seen people talk about for a couple days, like talking about, oh, I'm brand new to the game, came from Diablo, you can ask them. But you can start from anywhere, or you start from your tree and you can go anywhere with the skills. Right? Not only will you have just the small skills, you have a little bigger one, and you have keystones, which do different things. You have jewel sockets, which allow you to put a jewel that can give you a bunch of like stuff. You know, it is overwhelming, but don't worry. There's people who'll be able to help. Right? But let's talk about your skill gems, socketing, and things about them. You can get skill gems by just finding them. You can also get them by purchasing from merchants. As you start the campaign, you will be able to unlock them as you progress. But once you reach Act 6, you'll be able to purchase them freely. Do I?
Hey.
I don't think I have a...
Need something?
Yeah, I don't have a vendor on over here that I can purchase. So we'll just go towards the epilogue and then we'll see. But Act 6, or even through trade board, you can purchase, you'll be able to purchase all the skill gems that everybody has. There's only a handful of skill gems that you can, but those are really towards the end game. And you don't need them necessarily, but they do help. The skill gems can be your active skills and your support skills. Your active skills that are, give you skills like Taxa Crane, which is my damage, or my dash, that allow you to, give you movement stuff. And you can socket in the proper socket color. So like my Taxa Crane is a green gem. I can only put in a green socket, as you can see. No, I can't put in the blue or red. I can put in the green, or if I get a white socket, I can put it there. White socket can take green, blue, or red. You'll have a vendor like Lani. Oop, nope, wrong. Where's the vendor?
Greetings.
I thought... Apparently I messed up. We'll go to Act 6 and we'll get that. But yeah, so actives can... All the skill gems will have to go in their proper color. Then you have support skill gems, which allow your active skill gems to get extra damage or extra duration or whatever, depending on the skill gem it says. Right? So here we have Liliroth, and you can see there's skill gems. There's 7 pages technically. The 7th is just portal, but first page, first, third, and fifth are your active skill gems, and it'll tell you what it is. Like, for example, Battle Mage Cry, and it will tell you performs a war cry attempts nearby enemies to attack their user, and exerting subsequent attacks, granting a buff which boosts critical strike chance and allow attack to benefit from increases to spell damage. And it tells you like the stuff, the buff, the duration, all that stuff, And then it gives Battle Mage Cry support, right? Then you have your support skills on page 2, 4, and 6. And if you look at it, to the left of its description, it will tell you the skills that it supports. If it's red, it's no. If it's check mark, like green, like you can see for like Divine Blessing, Malevolence, it supports. So you don't have to guess, right? Same thing for page 3, active skills, and then your support. Like this one will support my Toxic Rain. Same thing with blue, and then here it is just that they mines, but you also have portal. Getting support gems to your active skill gems is really important because it will give damage. Like this skill gem gives my Toxic Rain more damage over time, more skill effect duration, and Void Manipulation chaos damage, even more chaos damage, but I deal no elemental, so it allows your gems to do more damage. But you need to make sure it's linked in order for it to work. So this bow is a 6-link, which is you can either buy or get through cards bow or a bunch of other stuff. All these gems support it. Versus like this chest piece, only 5, the top left gem would not support it because it's not linked. So make sure if you are building your or building a character and then you put support gems, they actually support that active skill gem. They're linked. You can have it 2-link, 3-link, 4-link, 5-link, 6-link. 6-link are on your 2-handed weapons and your chest piece. 1 and 2-link, 3-link, 4-link, or just no links can be on your boots, gloves, and your helmet. 1, 2, and 3 links, or not 1 link, but 2, 3 and links can be on your shield and 1-handed weapon, right? But there's a lot more to it, but that's just pretty much the basics of skill gems, but their colors and how to socket and stuff link them. And you can increase the number of sockets through jeweler orbs and then link them through fusing orbs. Also recommend quality your items through be it blacksmith stone or blacksmith whetstone for weapons and armor scrap for your armor, because the higher quality, the more chances to get 6 sockets or 4 depending on your piece. And then same thing with links, right? But what build that you want to go with, right? I would recommend finding a beginner friendly build or playstyle, looking through league starters on YouTube, because there's plenty of YouTubers that give awesome build guides. Again, PC is a little different than Xbox in terms of the economy, so if you're on PC it'll be a little easier for you versus Xbox, but there's still plenty of build guides. Like this one was a league starter, but I took it further, So remember, look for league stars. Don't look for in-game builds, even though you might want to. Look for league stars, because league stars are usually cheap and it'll allow you to get your currency up so you can go towards your in-game build. Or you might just stick with the league star build. It's up to you. Yeah. Now let's talk about community resources and some other stuff. There's plenty of POE subreddits, Fisher forums, and Discords that can help you with your builds. You can ask questions in. You can also always message me in my Discord or ask me in comments. I'll be able to help. There's also awesome websites like Path of, or programs like Path of Buildings, where those lake starting builds will usually have Path of Building, which will explain what you need. Will show you the full skill tree, or passive tree. Will show you the weapons and armor that you need, your gear through like leveling, through early game, mid game, late game, all of that stuff. There's also trading websites for PC, for Xbox or PlayStation. Fortunately, be stuck with the trade market, which is not bad, but it's a little different. I will leave the link to those websites down in the description, so go through them. They're awesome. There's also like for once you get through like certain acts, you have a Ascendancy, Labyrinth. There's websites for that to help you. All those websites will be down in the description, right? Now let's pretty much conclude the video. Do take time, do learn, Don't get discouraged if you die plenty of times. I died on this character, I don't know how many times. Let me see. Uh, oh, apparently I can't check. I forget the command, but you, if you die a bunch, it's okay. No. If you're stuck somewhere, don't be discouraged. There you go. I died 86 times. It's okay. Eventually, once you get a little familiar, experiment. Try, switch builds. If you want to build the way, build your character how you want, do so. The game is learning. There's so much to it. Do enjoy it. Don't get discouraged. Don't feel overwhelmed because everybody felt it at some point, and I know it's a little not a great thing, but ask people. They'll help you. But with all that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to stay awesome. I'm always open to questions and stuff, especially when I'm streaming. But don't forget to stay awesome. I'll see you in the next one, and bye bye.